Hello, and welcome to what is the virtuous cycle of expanding school meal programs and farm to school. I'm Honor Horton, Nutrition Initiatives Director at Hunger Free Vermont, and proud member of the Vermont Farm to School Network. The purpose of this webinar is to talk to both people who are experienced with farm to school and people who are experienced with school meal programs about why it's so important to make these two critical components work together in our Vermont schools. As those of you who are already working in the world of farm to school know, farm to school is a strategy for making food system change. Farm to school programs have always focused on bringing healthy food from local farms to school children. These programs connect schools with local farms with the objectives of serving healthy meals in school cafeterias, improving student nutrition, providing health and nutrition education opportunities that will create lifelong healthy eating habits, and we hope locavores for life, and of course also providing a stable source of income for local farms and therefore for our Vermont communities. Farm to school can mean a lot of different things. It can mean field trips to local farms, having students participate in a harvest on a farm, having farmers come to schools to meet kids and talk about what they grow and produce. It can also involve nutrition and food education curriculums in classrooms and engagement by different classes in school garden projects. All of those things are critical components of farm to school. But what I want to focus on today is the ability of school meal programs to purchase and serve healthy local foods to students in their school meals. From our perspective here at Hunger Free Vermont and our partners also in the many farm to school organizations at the regional and state level here in Vermont, farm to school really is all about food access. The farm to school movement makes it possible for all students in our schools to eat healthy and local foods, regardless of their family income and their family situations. And that's really important to us at Hunger Free Vermont because 1 in 7 Vermont children are living in a food insecure home right now. Depending on the town or region or county that you're in, as many as 70% of the children you engage with every day at school are at risk of malnutrition and hunger. And, of course, you know that the percentage of hungry and malnourished students can vary a lot among the different towns that your schools serve within your districts and supervisory unions. It's also really important for you to know that hunger and malnutrition is often hidden. You can count on the fact that not every hungry child is participating in your school meal programs right now. Our goal is to make sure that we're reaching every child with healthy, nutritious, and local school meals. Farm to school programs really help to prevent malnutrition. And that's because we have many kids in Vermont who are living in what we consider food insecure households who may be getting enough or even too many calories, but those calories are not providing them with the sufficient critical nutrients they need for proper brain development and good health. Increasing the fresh, local, healthy foods that are available to students through farm to school programs plays a key role in reducing malnutrition because those fruits and vegetables and whole grains from our Vermont farms are critical sources of these missing nutrients that kids need to be healthy and grow. Food insecurity changes the trajectory of a child's whole life. There's many research studies now that show us that food insecurity in children predicts lower grades, increased grade repetition, higher absenteeism and tardiness, greater difficulty getting along with peers, increased anxiety, aggression, and depressive disorders, developmental delays, behavior and learning challenges, and an increased risk of obesity and chronic disease. You know already that what happens for kids in school can really determine their whole life and the opportunities that are available to them. And this just really supports that knowledge. So there are many different federal child nutrition programs that provide opportunities to serve healthy food to kids in school, summer, and after-school settings. These programs include options that some schools can take advantage of to provide universal school breakfast and lunch, meaning that those meals are provided at no charge to all students, regardless of family income. There's the school breakfast program. There's the fresh fruit and vegetable program, again available to students with schools with higher percentages of low-income students. There's the National School Lunch Program. There's a program, the Child and Adult Care Food Program, or CACFP, that provides after-school meals and snacks. And there's also a program that provides summer meals and snacks, either breakfast and lunch, lunch and a snack, or snack and a supper, depending on the structure of the summer program. Summer and after-school meal programs are also only available to schools and surrounding communities where 50% or more of the children attending the school during the school year are eligible for and enrolled in free and reduced price school meals. So this is the virtuous cycle of expanding school meal program participation and farm to school simultaneously. Let me walk you through this virtuous cycle. So when we increase participation in our school meal programs and we make sure that each of our schools are offering all of the different child nutrition programs on that previous slide that school is eligible to offer, that generates greater revenue for the school meal program. And of course, at the same time, it's helping to improve student learning, health, and success by getting more kids eating school meals. But back to this greater revenue idea. So the more students participate in school meals every day, the more federal reimbursement comes to our schools in Vermont. That federal money can be used to allow the school meal program an increased capacity to afford higher quality food. And that means local food, which is often, not always, but often more expensive than what schools can get through their contracts with national food distributors. So when a school generates more revenue in their meal program and their meal program finances are more stable, that gives them an increased ability to use that money to buy higher quality food. And that means more fresh and local food get into the school meal programs in Vermont. When that happens and students can connect the school meals that they're eating to their local farms and the food is more delicious and better quality because we're using our high quality local farm ingredients, that leads to even more increased participation, which leads to even greater revenue for the school meals program, which allows this virtuous cycle to continue. More fresh and local food in school meals means that our local and farm economies are strengthened and stabilized, and it means that we're creating healthy eaters, localvores for life, ensuring that students' improved learning, health, and success continues even after they leave our Vermont schools. So let me talk a little bit more about what we know happens when school meal program participation increases in that key virtuous cycle that we just talked about. We know that students who eat school meals as compared to students who bring meals from home or eat breakfast at home have fewer absences due to illness, focus better in class, have fewer behavioral problems and referrals, have improved academic performance, have fewer visits to the school nurse, and have improved social skills. And we are starting to document this reality in schools in Vermont that have worked hard and implemented strategies to increase their school meal program participation. We have documentation now that school nurse visits have declined. We have documentation that behavioral referrals have declined. And we have testimony from teachers that students are focusing better in class and performing better in school. This is so exciting, and we are asking you, our allies in the farm to school community, to help us keep this going. Let's talk for a minute about the finances of increasing participation. For example, one Vermont school successfully increased breakfast participation by 50 students a day. That increase generated over $1,000 more per month in profit for the meal program. That's after accounting for the increased food and labor costs they needed to produce those additional 50 breakfasts a day. They were able to put more money for local food, equipment to help them process that local food, and staff training to help them work with local products and prepare tastier, more appetizing, and healthier school meals. Just take a moment to think about what you could do with $1,000 more per month in your school meal program. Here's another example that I challenge you to take on in your schools. And this only happens, of course, when you improve meal quality and can promote meals as including local ingredients and supporting local farms. But if just 15 adults in your school building bought breakfast and lunch at school each day, you would generate over $1,200 additional dollars per month for your school meal program. These additional funds mean more money for local foods and farm-to-school programming. So that's how school meal programs and the farm-to-school movement work together to create a virtuous cycle. Higher quality and more meaningful meals, and providing more meal opportunities by taking advantage of after-school meal programs, summer meal programs, universal meal programs where possible, leads to more student participation, leads to improved finances, leads to the ability to purchase more local food, and keep students healthier and learning better. So how can you learn more about all of these different topics we just touched on in this webinar today? Well, on the same webpage you're on now to find and listen to this webinar are additional steps that you can take to help get this virtuous cycle going at your school or strengthen it if it's already started. Step 1 invites you to take a look at the data about your school and where your school's at right now in terms of operating these different child nutrition programs, being eligible to operate them, and what is your average daily student participation in breakfast and lunch. So go to step 1 and click Start Here, and you'll get to have another thrilling webinar with me explaining your school data snapshot, and you'll get to see your school data snapshot on that webpage. Step 2 is to identify, okay, what are the meal programs you'd like to work on at your school? And then you can select from these different options, and you'll be taken to a different webpage on our site where you will have the opportunity to learn more about these different programs and have a lot of resources available to you there. But in addition, I urge you to reach out to your regional farm-to-school organization in Vermont, because they can really help you make a plan for how you're going to expand your farm-to-school program. And they have the expertise to coach you through all of the requirements for procuring local food and connect you to local farmers who can make that happen for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to find out about the virtuous cycle of school meals and farm to school here in Vermont. And please also always remember that we at Hunger Free Vermont are available to you. We provide free customized technical assistance to schools and community organizations to help you take advantage of any of the federal child nutrition programs. So give us a call or write us an email. We're eager to support you.